1-year ASMR anniversary since I made the channel. I think it was in February. Yeah, like end of February was my first video last year of the channel. And I'm so excited to be back. Today we're going to be talking about books that I read in January and February because I haven't uploaded, and I also have read 6 books total. Yeah, 6 books total. Try living in New York City and like having a reading streak to keep up with. Like freshly living in New York City because you don't live in New York City and go, you know what I want to do today? I don't want to go walk around Times Square. I don't want to go see the Empire State Building. I don't want to go do New York things. I want to read a book. Granted, I do want to read a book. I just have 2 roommates that live in my bedroom. So I can't read an effing book. I mean, I can't read a book. I'm just a chatter. It's not them, it's me. I just like to chat. But I digress. Let's get into this freaking video. Like I said, it's gonna be everything that I read in February and January. I'll talk about my DNFs first because I have DNF'd a few things. And some of the books that I did read should have been DNF'd. Let's go to Storygraph. Also, I'm filming this with my front camera, so if it looks different or weird or worse or whatever, it's because I'm filming on my front camera because I don't want the video to not record and then film it again because I'll be really angry because I like to just be fresh with you guys. I don't want to be like rehearsed. So I like to just, read it, right. Okay, let's get into everything that I read or didn't or tried to read in the past however long. I think this is in the right way. We're gonna say it is. Also, let me check really quick. Actually, no, we're not gonna check, we're just gonna do it. Okay, so the first book that I DNF'd of the year was actually Atonement by Ian McEwan, and I'm surprised I still own this book because usually if I don't like a book, I'll return it. I'm a big returner. I don't like spending money on books because, I like spending money on books, but not bad books because books are like $25,000, so I need to return this. I read about 5 pages of it and was like, hey guys, I'm bored. So, there goes that. I can never see myself when I film. Maybe I'll start filming like this. Then the second book that I DNF'd was, some kids are screaming. Let me go on Goodreads because I feel like it's there. Like I can find it better there. Hold on. Because I don't think I added these ones to my Storygraph. Because I didn't read them. Okay, the first book that I DNF'd was Sweet Pea by CJ Skews. This book is recently been turned into a Stars TV show with Ella Purnell of Yellow Jackets fame. Not really, she was in a whole bunch of other movies first, but I love Yellow Jackets, so. But, I'll read the synopsis. The last person who called me Sweet Pea ended up dead. There's a child screaming outside. Sorry about that. The last person who called me Sweet Pea ended up dead. Rhiannon is your average girl next door, settled with her boyfriend and little dog, but she's got a killer secret. By day, her job as an editorial assistant is demeaning and unsatisfying. By evening, she dutifully listens to her friends' plans for marriage and babies while secretly making a list. A kill list. From the man at the checkout who always mishandles her apples, to the driver who cuts her off on her way to work, to the people who have got it coming. Rhiannon's ready to get her revenge, because the girl everybody overlooks might be able to get away with murder. This is obviously a woman who kill book, one of my favorite genres. Unfortunately, it is 432 pages. That book is like as thick as Twilight, low-key. I don't know how many pages Twilight is, but the book is thick. And books like that, where it's just a woman killing people, don't really need to be that long. You know what I mean? And the writing was very thick. Like, it was hard to get through. It was very, I don't know what, I read this, like, a lot has happened since I opened this book, but it was just very, too much going on, convoluted, too many not words being said, but it was like, too many descriptors. When I was like, okay, I can picture it myself. I don't need to know every single thing that's happening. Like, I'm not stupid, but maybe I am, because I hated it. I only got, like, 120 pages in. But, like, at that point, I should be happy with the book. We shouldn't still be, like, waiting for them Jane Starling. I had seen Nosferatu in December, and I adored it. The hair is inspired by Nosferatu. I love the dark. I love the 18th century or 17th century. Yeah, I think 17th, maybe it's 18th, 19th century. Hey, I don't know. 1800s, we'll say that. I love that kind of like, what's the word? Ambiance, like the gothic churches and the big gowns and the just dark. Like, yeah, so this book was supposed to be that, and it wasn't, but I will read you the definition, the summary. Practical, unassuming Jane Shoringfield has done the calculations and decided that the most secure path forward is this: a husband, and a marriage of convenience to allow her to remain independent and occupied with meaningful work. Her first choice, the dashing but reclusive Dr. Augustine Lawrence, agrees to her proposal with only one condition: she must never visit Lindridge Hall, his crumbling family manor outside of town. Yet on their wedding night, an accident strands her at his door in a pitch-black rainstorm, and she finds him changed. Gone is the bold, courageous surgeon, and in his place a terrified, paranoid man, one who cannot tell reality from nightmare, and fears Jane as an apparition come to haunt him. By morning, Augustine is itself again, but Jane knows something is deeply wrong at Lindridge Hall, and with the man she is so hastily bound to her safety too. Yeah, set in a dark mirror version of post-war England. Starling crafts blah 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 blah, gothic horror blah blah blah. Okay, they said it's supposed to be Crimson Peak meets Shirley Jackson stories and Rebecca, and like fun, right? Horror, gothic, historical, fantasy, all of it. It wasn't really that. It was boring. That's for sure. That's something that it was. It was, I don't even know how to explain it. I did not like it. I did not finish it, and that's my tea. Those were both in January. So the next book that I read, the first book I actually read of the year was The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. Michaelides is what I'm gonna say, is what I've been saying. Also, this lighting, I've been using a new Korean skincare moisturizer. Yeah, because I've been home and I only brought a carry-on, so I couldn't bring all my products home with me. Granted, I've been using 5-year-old CeraVe to wash my face because that's all I have here, but I got a new moisturizer, and look at my skin. I'm glistening like a little honey bun. Anyway, The Maidens by Alex Michaelides is my first book that I read of the year. I will read you the inside. Edward Fosca is a murderer. Here, let me do this. Of this, Mariana is certain, but Fosca is untouchable. A handsome and charismatic Greek tragedy professor at Cambridge University, Fosca is adored by staff and students alike, particularly by the members of a secret society of female students known as the Maidens. Mariana Andros is a brilliant but troubled group therapist who becomes fixated on the Maidens when one member, a friend of Mariana's niece, Zoe, is found murdered in Cambridge. Mariana, who was once herself a student at the university, quickly suspects that behind the idyllic beauty of the spires and turrets, beneath the ancient traditions, lies something sinister. She becomes convinced that despite his alibi, Edward Fosca is guilty of the murder. But why would the professor target one of his students, and why does he keep returning to the rites of Persephone, the maiden, and returning to the other world? Jesus, I can't read. Underworld, my bad. When another body is found, Mariana's obsession with proving Fosca's guilt spirals out of control, threatening to destroy her credibility, as well as her closest relationships. But Mariana is determined to stop this killer, even if it costs her everything, including her own life. So, boom. That's The Maidens. Let's see what I gave it. I don't remember. The sun is going away, and I'm sad because it looks so cute on my face. Not to read, please. Give me what I've read. Where are my effing reads? Oh, stats. Sorry, guys. I just started screaming. Okay. Hey, so I can't find them. It's dumbass, and her stupidity kept pissing me off. Prayer hands emoji. So, yeah, that's how I felt about the book. She was really not smart. And that's why I was angered. So, there's that. Yes, exciting. The next book I read, oh my god, I know exactly what book I read next, and I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was Penance by Leslie Clark. I love true crime. I love horror. I love dark things. I enjoy dark media. But Penance by Leslie Clark was one of the worst books I've ever read. I was so excited to read this book. Everybody talks about it, and it's very well loved in the book community. It is, here I can read you the thing. Basically, I'll tell you what it's about. It's about this group of girls that killed this other girl, and this interviewer who's going around interviewing the families to figure out the real story. So, unfortunately, this book felt like a textbook. Like, it felt like I was reading homework. The words and this choice of words was so dense. It was just all so, like, not really dense, but it was just not easy to digest what was being said to me. And it was boring, and it wasn't exciting, and I literally got an audiobook subscription service just to finish this book because I was angry at DNFing so many things at this point. I was like, it's gonna get fucking done. So I got Everand. I love Everand, but that's besides the point. But yeah, this book was just not great at all. My review was, this is actually the most convoluted book ever. I don't understand how people love this so much. It felt like reading a textbook. Had to switch to audio on 2 times speed after reading 50% because I was gonna be a DNF. It just was so bad, you guys. Like, sinisterly horrible. Like, really, really bad. And not in like a, oh, you just don't like it, guys. I hated it. I didn't just dislike it. I hated it. I couldn't remember the characters' names. I couldn't remember who was who. I didn't give any F's about any of the people in the book. It was just all bad news bears. All bad news bears. And then, also the narrator was a man, which isn't horrible, but I was just like, this story about female friendships and girlhood and just growing up, and a man is the one telling the story. Not that men can't tell the story, but you have to read the book to understand. It's just not a good fit. So yeah, didn't like that one. Once again, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Do you like how I'm holding my face in the light? Because if I was back here, it'd be dark, but I really like the way the light looks. Okay. The next book, and usually over Valentine's Day, I will read a cute little, like, romance book. Unfortunately, this Valentine's Day, I didn't go through a breakup. My ex and I decided to stop talking, cut it off cold turkey, whatever. We started dating in 2022, and we'd been kind of just holding on to each other for a while. So we were like, you know what? Hey, let's stop friend zoning each other to hang out, because we were doing that for the past year, and we weren't allowed to move on. This is so deep. Not deep, but this is so much information. So we stopped talking, and then I got really mad at him one night when I was drunk, and I called him and told him to burn in a fire, which is not a good thing to do, but he decided to block me on everything because I told him to die in a fire and burn in hell. So my Valentine's book was Sally Rooney's Normal People, because I was really feeling some emotions, and I was like, let me read somebody else struggling, so I can remember that, hey, don't kill yourself. I really wasn't going to. He's just my best friend, whatever. He's my best friend. Fuck that nigga. Bow. Anyway, so yeah, I read Normal People for Valentine's Day. I was gonna finish it on Valentine's Day, but I got too drunk and I met Amanda Lepore, so I'm gonna finish Normal People. But yes, this Normal People by Sally Rooney. Oh my god, I'm not saying any words. Normal People by Sally Rooney. This is about Marion and what's his name, Connell, and they grew up going to the same high school in the same neighborhood. Connell's mom was Marian's housekeeper. And then they like kind of took a liking to each other, but they kept it a secret because Marian was like the laughing stock of the school, or like the weird girl of the school, so they Connell was kind of seeing her on the side. But it follows them being on again, off again through like the course of, I don't know how many years, I'm gonna say 10, that could be very wrong, but the course of a lot of years, and kind of getting their emotions played with and just all that stuff. So that's why I was like, Valentine's Day, me and you, let's do it. I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I said this was my V-Day read. Does that say anything about me? Either way, currently dealing with loss and wanted to read about other people also dealing with loss, so I could remind myself that this doesn't only happen to me. LOL. But yeah, I liked the book. It was very chill. Not much was going on. I mean, it's Sally Rooney, so what do we expect? Not my favorite. I was kind of neutral about it. It was nice to read. It was nice to be in those thoughts with somebody else while I was dealing with something myself. So yeah, that's that one. The next book that I read, this was a 5-star read. I was gonna, okay, so I finished Normal People and I was like, I need to read something that, sorry, my knee's hurting, 1 second. Okay, that's better. I was like, I need to read something after my book, and I loved, like, in between books where I have to pick a new one. It's my favorite thing ever, because it's just, like, fun. And I was like, oh, let's read an actual romance, because I love romance, what can I say? So I read Hannah Bonham Young's Out on a Limb, and when I say that I love this book so much. You know, I love a one-night stand trope, a one-night stand pregnancy trope. You know, I love pregnancy trope anyway. You know, I love, like, single dad trope. You know, I love that kind of shit in my books. I just love it. So, this book follows Win and, what's his name? See, it sounds like I don't like, Bo, duh. Follows Win and Bo when they meet on Halloween at a Halloween party, and they are like, oh, you're cute, let's bone. So they do. Then Win is like, oh, pregnant, and then she tells Win, and she tells Bo and everything, whatever. And it follows them, you know, dealing with that. This book, I started it at midnight. I wanted to read one chapter just to see if I wanted to go buy the book the next day from Barnes & Noble. And I was like, you know what? Let me just see if it's good before I go spend my money on it, because I don't feel like doing all that, you know, whatever. I don't want to walk to Union Square, whatever. I read one chapter, then I read the next chapter, then I read the next chapter, and the next, and so on and so forth until I finished the book. I was up until 7 a.m. reading the entire book start to finish. It was so good. I almost did a backflip. Yeah, it was that good. I almost did a backflip. Yeah, it was so good. I adored this book. This is what I wrote in my review. Bitch, in all caps with like 6 H's. Oh, 7, my bad. I started this book at 12:15 in the morning, midnight, and now it's 7:08 a.m. and I stayed up all night and read it start to finish. I got it on my Kobo to test a couple of chapters before bed. Maybe since my Amazon order wasn't going to be here until 2 days from now, and I don't even need the physical anymore because I read the whole damn book. LMAO. I adored this book so much. OMG. It was also a plus because I got to watch the sunrise over Manhattan while I read it. It was a very good book. I love this book, and I loved it. I just thought it was great. Very fun. They also are missing limbs. That's why it's called Out on a Limb. Like Bo. Well, actually, I won't give it away, but they're both not disabled. They just don't have all of their limbs. Okay, and then I was like, I love this book. Give me more ASAP. So I was like, what else does Hannah Bonham Young have to offer? And I was like, oh, Out of the Woods. Okay, this is kind of a book, like a sequel, but not really. It's a spin-off series about the other couple from the book, Wynn's best friend and her husband, and they are going through a rough patch in their relationship, so they decide to go on this wilderness retreat to get closer to each other. And it's called Out of the Woods. I think I said that. I gave it a 3-star, and it wasn't as good as Out on a Limb because So reading two rom-coms back to back was kind of like beating me up a little bit because I was like, fuck, I want a rom-com situation. So this one took me a lot longer to read, and I gave it 3 stars. And I said, this book took me light years to read. I shouldn't have been reading this though. I'm too lonely, LMAO. And that's what it was. I just didn't need to read it after. It was a good book. It wasn't as good as On the Limb. It wasn't as good as On the Limb, but it was a solid book. But yeah, bad time to read that because then I was like, fuck, can a girl get some dick or what's up? Anyway, the next book I read, I finished this on the plane actually. Oh, I have it. Pause. Let me grab it. Okay, it's actually a shirt twin book, Black Friend by Z-Way. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm black, and I'm also a friend, and I love Z-Way, so I decided to pick this one up because Black History Month was coming to a close. All I had was white authors, and I was like, okay, let's get some actual, like, black authors into this list, because, girl, I'm being a bad black woman, not reading any black authors during Black History Month. Come on, girl, get it together. I picked this up. It was fun. It's just an essay collection about Z-Way's life and what Z-Way has gone through, and she's a comedian, once again, since she's a funny girl. And yeah, it was good. I don't have much to say because it's not like it was like a story. It was kind of a memoir, and memoirs are kind of hard to read because it's somebody's life. So, yeah, I gave this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And my review was, this was great. The hot pink cover is what got me in the bookstore. Well, that and the fact that I'm also a black friend. But yeah, she's just really fun and funny and witty, and there was a lot of, like, it was also educational as well as funny and, like, other black experiences in America and, you know, in this racial climate of 2020 in the Black Lives Matter movement and the current DEI rollbacks on all of the places and just, you know, all of this stuff that's going on. So it was nice to read. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, those are the books that I read in the months of January and February. Actually, this is March. It's okay, we'll count it. We'll count it. We'll say I didn't. We'll say that I'll talk about it again next month. How about that? But yeah, that's all I got. Not much. I gotta read some more.